These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission: to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone
Captain's log, stardate 12207.14, July 14th, 2022. It's the summer before I start grad school, and I am deep into my Star Trek binge. See, I found this channel called Heroes and Icons that plays episodes of Star Trek, the original series, Star Trek, The Next Generation, Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, Star Trek, Voyager, and Star Trek Enterprise, all back-to-back 5 nights a week. And I am loving it. The original series in particular. Oh, the storylines are campy. The sets are so obviously painted foam, and it is totally iconic. But it was the 1960s, so at least once per episode something wildly offensive has to happen. Usually to do with the women. Season 2, Episode 3, The Changeling. That unit is defective. Its thinking is chaotic, absorbing it unsettled to me. That unit is a woman. A mass of conflicting impulses. Season 1, Episode 19, This Side of Paradise. You've survived exposure to Bertholdt rays. Oh, that can be explained later. I have never understood the female capacity to avoid a direct answer to any question. Season 1, Episode 19, The Conscience of the King. Tell me, Captain Kirk, this ship, all that power surging and throbbing yet under control, are you like that, Captain? All this power at your command, yet the source is very human. Tell me about the women in your world, Captain. Has the machine changed them? Made them just people instead of women? Worlds may change, galaxies disintegrate, but a woman always remains a woman. You know, for a show that was so progressive, I guess no one could conceive of a 23rd century where a woman wasn't blinded by a man in a captain's chair. I have to ask, is even space a male-dominated industry? You know, my dad loves the original series, and yet refuses to watch it with me. Well, he doesn't like the way I watch it. I don't know. I mean, we all have things like that, right? You know, shows we loved, or characters we idolize. So when someone new comes along and starts to poke holes in it, or point out the absurd impracticality of chunky heels on an alien planet. Oh, I hear myself. I get it. My mom watches it with me, though. She grew up with the reruns. She told me once that as a little girl, Yeoman Janice Rand was the most beautiful woman she'd ever seen. She loved her hair. I know a lot of women who watch Star Trek with our moms. It's funny, women love the original series. Despite its depiction of us, because of it, I don't know. So, like the Starship Enterprise, I am on a mission to boldly go where no man has gone before. This is the Star Trek Starfleet Technical Manual, fully illustrated. First printing started 7511.01, 1975. First retailed here on Earth for $6.95. It is everything you would need as a cadet rising through the ranks of Starfleet Academy, training to become a Starfleet officer on board a Starfleet vessel, all lovingly compiled into this volume I have in my hands. A gift from my dad when I first decided on my thesis topic. Right about in the middle here, there's a section on official uniforms. There's the ensign grade duty uniform for males, and on the back is a 2-scale pattern and instructions on how to make your very own Star Trek uniform. And on that day, in 1975, 1,000 cosplays were born. Then, we have the pattern for the female uniforms. You know, the high-heeled boots, the pantyhose, the miniskirt. Oh, the miniskirt. An icon of both 1960s and 23rd century fashion. You know, in the original series, there are many shots where a female officer will turn and walk away from the camera, underwear fully visible as she enters the turbo lift at the back of the bridge. Or we get an upskirt shot as she's thrown from her station while battling the ambulance. I point this out because in the official Star Trek Starfleet technical manual, there are matching panties for all 3 female uniforms. Because here at Starfleet, there's nothing more embarrassing than your captain catching you with panties that aren't color coordinated. You know, in the pilot episode, the women wear pants. In the second version of the pilot, the one with Captain Kirk, the women also wear pants. When the series was picked up for syndication, no more pants! And this isn't exclusive to our beloved 1960s either. Oh no. 1987, The Next Generation. 1 out of 2 women get to wear pants. Deanna Troi is either in a dress or a sexy jumpsuit. 1993, Deep Space Nine. Also had some pants, but it was a 1-1 ratio of pants and sexy jumpsuit. 1995, Voyager. We get 2 pairs of pants, but 1 dress and 1 sexy jumpsuit. Now, 2001, Enterprise did something really interesting here. They opted for 1 non-sexy jumpsuit and 1 very sexy jumpsuit. Really balances things out. Women did not achieve full access to pants in a Star Trek series until Discovery, which came out in 2017. Stardate 11709.24. But for 2 beautiful original series episodes, women had pants and sweaters, sweaters with high necklines and pants, and they were liberating and functional and non-sexualized and not very exciting visually speaking. The miniskirts were way cuter. Have you ever heard the term space babe? It refers to the conventionally attractive woman in a sci-fi property who's playing the alien love interest. There has to be something about her that makes her alien. Green skin, for instance, or a little antenna, or a 3rd boob, you know? Just enough so we know she's not Earth Girl, but not so much that she's unfuckable. She is hot, whether she's wielding a phaser gun or falling desperately to her knees. She wears a revealing outfit because on her world, they're not bound by the odd puritanical sensitivities of the Earthlings. And although she may not understand our strange Earth customs, she is, of course, attracted to Earth men. How else would we get our next trope, boldly coming? Figure that one out for yourself. You know, Star Trek pioneered so many things. I guess it's no surprise they pioneered the space babe, too. And the original pilot episode, The Cage, the captain's trapped on an alien planet in a zoo with what appears to be a human woman. The aliens running the zoo use her to create any illusion he desires. Her name is Vina, and she becomes a farmer's wife, a damsel in distress, and, brace yourselves, the Orion slave girl. Yeah, the lore is that female Orions emit pheromones that cause aggression, accelerated heart rates, and susceptibility to suggestion in males of other species. It gives females of other species headaches. The Orions are known for their markets where they sell their women. Orion women have extreme carnal appetites and certain innate skills. No human man has ever been able to resist their sultry dance. As the Orion slave girl dances for the captain, a fellow officer leans over to him and says, "Funny how they are on this planet. They actually like being taken advantage of." Oh, no. Vina was the first, but certainly not the last. There's Andrea the android from the season 1 episode, What Are Little Girls Made Of? Her creator explains, well, she's a totally logical computer. A thing is not a woman. But of course, that totally logical computer is packaged in an outfit that can only be described as gravity-defying. Seriously, she's got no bra on. How do her boobs do that? Or what about Shauna, the Triskelion drill sergeant who makes Barbarella look like a nun. She was referred to in the very first issue of Star Trek magazine as she of the silver bondage getup and big hair. Space Babe is also the name of the game I played with my mom when we watched Star Trek. Every time an original series Space Babe wanders onto screen, we gleefully shout, "Space Babe!" And it's not a derogatory thing. Oh, it's not the Space Babe's fault, after all. It's like reclaiming a word, right? Like slut. Nowadays, you can be all, "I'm a slut." I'm not slut shaming, I'm slut celebrating. I am empowered when I call myself a slut. You take back the power, the agency when you reclaim the word. So, I've decided to reclaim Space Babe. If you look good and you love space, congratulations, sir, you're a Space Babe. I'm a Space Babe. You hear that? I'm a Space Babe and I'm proud. I got an email from my dad a few months ago. He sent me an article to a link entitled Star Trek, 10 Funny and Moving Behind the Scenes Secrets. Thanks, Dad. There's one part of the article that reads, Martin Luther King Jr.'s influence on Star Trek. It's a great story. Nichelle Nichols became an icon for her portrayal of Lieutenant Nyota Uhura, a woman born and raised in the United States of Africa, who serves as the communications officer on the bridge of the Enterprise. One Saturday, at an NAACP conference, she met one of her biggest fans, Martin Luther King Jr. When she thanked him, but told him she was leaving the series after the first season, he said to her, "You cannot. You cannot. For the first time, we are being seen all the world as we should be seen every day, as intelligent, quality, beautiful people who can sing, dance, and go to space. If you leave, that door can be closed, because your role is not a black role, and it's not a female role. He can fill it with anything, including an alien." Nichelle Nichols did not leave Star Trek. You see, this is what I mean. Star Trek moved mountains. Oh, it meant everything to people at the time. It continues to mean everything to so many people now, space babes and all. And who am I? Do I have any right to criticize it? Fact, Star Trek the original series ran for 3 seasons, between June 3rd, 1966 and September 8th, 1969. Now, those 3 seasons spawned 13 films, 8 live-action television series, 3 animated series, 2 television shorts, 2 magazines, over 300 comic books, over 900 novels, short stories, and technical manuals, hundreds of board games, card games, role-playing games, Starship Simulator games, pinball games, video games, and handheld electronic games, 90 documentaries and TV specials, 1 theme park attraction, 1 official exhibition, and 1 off-Broadway show, Con, the musical! Stats. Of the original 5 syndicated television series, the original series has 3 main cast female characters. Next Generation has 3. Deep Space Nine has 3. Voyager has 4. And Enterprise has 2. Fact, of the 3 main cast female characters in the original series, in 79 episodes, Nichelle Nichols appears in 68. Major Barrett appears in 33. Grace Lee Whitney appears in 8. Grace Lee Whitney was sexually assaulted by a Star Trek executive while under contract. She was released from her contract after 8 episodes. Executives cited a desire to have Kirk free to date other women. Others cited Whitney's substance abuse. Fact, correlation does not equal causation. But fact, more than 70% of women who experienced workplace sexual harassment did not report the incident for fear of retaliation in the year 2020. In fact, Grace Lee Whitney was released from her contract in 1966. So many people have told me how Star Trek gives them hope for the future. But I ask you, when you think about the original series, do you think about Yeoman Rand? Do you think about her stories? Season 1, Episode 6, The Enemy Within. "Oh, Captain, you startled me. Jim will do here, Janice. You're too beautiful to ignore. Too much woman. Come here, Janice. Don't fight me, Janice. Don't fight me. Captain, just a minute, Janice, just a minute." And then And then he kissed me, and he told me that he was the captain and he could order me. I didn't know what to do. Well, he is the captain. I couldn't just... You started hurting me. I had to fight you and scratch your face. If it hadn't been... Well, I can understand. I don't want to get you in trouble. I wouldn't have even mentioned it. Hey, Dad. Dad, I'm tired. I'm so exhausted and I'm so angry. And I don't want to be. I think I hurt your feelings when I started to pick apart the original series. Because it means so much to you, and maybe it seemed cruel, and I am sorry. But what I want to tell you is that I do love it, even if I don't love it the same way you do. The truth is, Dad, I can't love it the same way. You can walk right through those bridge doors and sit in that captain's chair. And I can get to the bridge too. I just, I have to take the side door. But that doesn't make the way I love it wrong. I have to take ownership of it by calling it on its bullshit and loving it anyway. Not because it's perfect, but because it's complicated now. The way I love you because you're complicated. This is my love letter to Star Trek. Star Trek, I love you for what you did for representation. Uhura, Sulu, Spock, did you know? The live long and prosper hand. It's a Jewish blessing. Leonard Nimoy knew. It's the letter Shin, used to bless the congregation during the Jewish prayer, the Shekinah. The Shekinah is the divine aspect of God that we feel amongst humanity. Oh, how beautiful. That every time we reference Star Trek, we are blessing each other with the divine feminine, no less. I love Star Trek, that you gave us a vision of the future where being kind-hearted is not a weakness, where we as humanity are united in our quest for knowledge and we are filled with hope. I love you, Star Trek. Yours, Space Page.